Hey guys, it's Katya with Hindustan Astrology today, and in this video we are going to go over the month of July 2024. Now this month is going to be quite tumultuous. We are starting off right off the bat, June 29th, we had Saturn go retrograde. So that energy is really prevalent on the 1st. And on the 2nd, we have Neptune going retrograde. Now, he is an outer planet. However, he does rule oceans and storms, accidents, airplanes too. And so look at the flooding that's going on, in the United States, especially in Minnesota with the dams breaking. All of that stuff is going to be very prevalent. Now, the rest of this month, we've got lots of energy that's, building up around Mars, because Saturn is giving his third aspect to Mars right now. And Mars is in Aries in his best sign, but then about mid-month, he's going to go into Taurus. Yes, so when Mars goes into Taurus, he will be conjunct Jupiter, which has been there since May 1st, and Uranus, which has been there since June 1st. So this is going to energize a lot of people. I think, it could express itself globally in the form of more war. However, it is in the sign of Taurus, which is by Venus. So maybe, some peace negotiations will actually follow through. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look at what's going on this month. Okay, so right off the bat, July 1st, we have a Moon-Mars conjunction. Now, this does happen once a month, yes. However, having Mars in his best sign of Aries is going to really energize us, make us more focused on our passions. Also, if it's in the 4th house for you, this could indicate, good things for money, good things for real estate. So that's July 1st. Now, as I said, July 2nd, we have Neptune going retrograde. He is at 5 degrees 44 minutes of Pisces, Uttara Bhadrapada. So, Uttara Bhadrapada is the serpent of the deep, and it is ruled by Saturn. So having Neptune station there, definitely we're going to see some more storms, more flooding. And we know, the oceans haven't been this safe this summer because of all of the shark attacks happening, at least in the United States. I think in other areas of the world, it's happening as well. So definitely our oceans are going to be in focus, water in general, with this Neptune retrograde. Also, in a person's chart, I have noticed because Neptune, when it's direct, usually will show, an affinity for the arts, right? Someone who's good at music, dance, something like that. However, a Neptune can show lies and deceit, deception. So when he goes retrograde, it's kind of like a whistleblower. That person is more of a whistleblower than they are, the other qualities of Neptune. So it will be interesting to see what lies and deceit are exposed, especially for the United States, because this is our 4th house. Yes, Neptune is in our 4th house right now. So should be interesting. Okay, then we have on July 4th, of course, we have the United States birthday. Happy birthday, United States. This is the dark moon because the next day will be the new moon. But we do have Sun and Venus conjunct. So, it should be interesting to see what's going to come up for us this year. July 5th at 9 a.m., we have Rahu entering Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So, Neptune and Rahu are getting closer together. Again, exposure of deceit, exposure of lies, corruption, scandal, all of those things for the United States is going to be. Get your popcorn. It's going to be real interesting as we approach this election coming up. Then on July 5th at 6:57 p.m. EST, we have our new moon at 20 degrees, 11 minutes of Sidereal Gemini Punarvasu. Now remember, guys, this is Vedic astrology. This is not Western astrology. It's not the same. So the signs are going to be different. And I just want you to know that, if you're using Western placements, you'll be confused. So don't, okay? All right. So we have the new moon conjunct Venus. Moon is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Cancer, ruled by the moon. So on this day, we have what is called a Parivartana Yoga. Moon in Gemini sign and Mercury, ruled by Gemini, in Cancer sign of the moon. So this actually is really good for, intuition, psychic intuition. It is not so great for thinking. Now, it is like Mercury's in his own sign of Gemini and Moon's in her own sign of Cancer. However, Mercury in Gemini can produce a lot of anxiety. So I'm just going to ask everyone to ground themselves. It's a great day to go swimming, do some writing in your journal, process your what's going on in your mind. Okay. Venus is there. Venus, let's see, is she still combust? No, she leaves combustion with the sun in the 11th. So yeah, Venus is still combust the sun on this day. It's just a time to really, I think everybody needs to take a break, go swimming, take a nap. I think we're all emotionally exhausted, and it's going to show on this new moon. And we have, as I said, Rahu is getting closer to Neptune. Be careful of, while you're in the water, be careful of the water as well. Be careful of drownings, things like that, shark attacks, rip currents. I can't believe how many people have had deaths from rip currents this summer. It's crazy. And a lot of that has to do with, Rahu in Pisces with Neptune. And as you know, Rahu and Ketu go backwards. So as Rahu and Neptune moves really slow, so as Rahu approaches Neptune, all of these issues with the water are going to be more prevalent. What else is going on in this day? Well, we have Saturn giving literally his exact third aspect by degree to Mars. So Saturn is at 25 degrees, 11 minutes. Mars is at 25 degrees, 18 minutes. Major frustration. Saturn is very slow and Mars is very fast, and it's like we've hit a wall. Another indication that our nerves are shot. I think we're all reeling from that debate that happened last week. I mean, it was just a jaw dropper all the way around. So yeah, there's some scrambling. The United States is having to do some scrambling right now to repair its image. This new moon is going to show that, okay? Now let's move on. We have July 6th, Venus enters Cancer, which is excellent. Venus does great in Cancer because Venus has she does best in the 4th house, and that's the natural house of the moon. So, this is a time when we really can get in touch with our feminine side with the divine feminine, expressing our love for others through nurturing, through food. And I hope that you get outside, and because after the 11th, when Venus goes out of combustion with the sun, right, she will emerge as the evening star. So, as she goes into Cancer, eventually we'll see her. You won't be able to miss her. She'll be very bright this summer. So beautiful time. Then July 7th, Moon is in Cancer, Pushya Nakshatra. July 8th, Venus in Cancer, opposite Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. This is a time I've just discovered, especially with, Neptune retrograde, lies and deceits in relationships will come out with Venus-Pluto opposition. And if there's been any infidelity, that will come out at that time as well. July 9th, Moon in Leo, opposite Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. Again, it's just time to get serious about our daily routine, what we're doing. And then, as I said, July 11th, Venus leaves combustion with the sun. So this is, excellent for sky watching, excellent for, reestablishing our self-worth. Venus is our values, and when she's combusts the sun, a lot of times our self-esteem and our confidence lacks. So, doing things, affirmations every day, to reestablish that positive self-reflection. And then we have July 12th, Mars enters Taurus. And so this is going to be very interesting, right? This is when, Mars comes into conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus again, energizing those two planets. And when Jupiter is with Mars, he really is a go-getter. He accomplishes things, he tackles things, maybe a little bit too aggressively. And with Uranus, this can actually represent accidents. So for the United States, this is the 6th house. 6th house is open enemies. We could have some retaliation against us or our colleagues overseas. This is going to be a tenuous time with Mars in Taurus. Then Moon in Virgo, July 13th, Chitra, and it's going to be conjunct K2. Now, this is a day when, when Moon is conjunct K2, we can be a little OCD about things. It's definitely a time to really listen to our intuition. And in Virgo, it's a great day to clean, get organized, that kind of thing. Then Moon goes into Libra, the 14th and 15th. And then July 16th, we have Sun entering Cancer. So happy birthday to all of the Sun in sidereal Cancers. Now remember, this is Vedic astrology, so we have different, we use different times for when the sun enters signs, right? So, but if you look at your sky map and look at the stars, you'll see that the sun indeed enters Cancer on this day. So happy birthday to all the Cancerians. And on the 17th, we have Moon going into Scorpio, which is debilitated. So this is, again, a time when self-reflection, being kind to ourselves, not being nitpicky about things, not being domineering, just really reining in on ourselves on this day is a great way to utilize this energy. Then July 18th, we have Pluto retrograde, transiting U.S. Pluto retrograde at 6 degrees 49 minutes. This is going to be of Capricorn, Uttara Ashada. This is going to be very telling, especially with Mars having entered Taurus in the 6th house. I think there's going to be some kind of an attack, maybe to our ally overseas. Things are not looking good. However, the financial sector as well is going to reflect this. So, Pluto, who is Pluto, right? He's the god of the underworld. He is the power of the small in the form of something small like a virus or an atom that can, atom bomb that can take you out, or a secret society, something that's hidden. So, hidden enemies could come out at this time. It is in the second house of finance as well as food. So we're going to see some reforms, I feel, in the food industry. There are things that we allow in our food, chemicals that are not allowed in Europe. I think we're going to see some reforms in those areas. But the financial sector especially is in the form of cryptocurrency and things are going to be shifting definitely with this kind of a transit. So just pay heed, pay attention to what's going on around you. The first time Pluto, when it was direct back in February, it hit this degree and it really launched more warfare overseas. So that's definitely going to come back around. Now, July 19th at 11:10 a.m. EST, we have Mercury entering Leo, and it will be opposite Saturn retrograde. So, Moon in Leo is very creative with their communication, but Saturn retrograde opposing it is going to slow down that communication, maybe produce kind of a writer's block kind of a feeling. So this is just a time to get re-inspired, take a step back from your work, what you're doing. Be careful of your words before you say them, that kind of an energy, okay? Then July 21st at 6:16 a.m., we have the full moon at 4 degrees 56 minutes of Capricorn, Uttara Ashada, and it will be conjunct that Pluto retrograde. So all the stuff I just talked about will really come into focus for this full moon. And Pluto, I have also found, indicates the military. And so this could be our military returning back overseas for something. I'm just saying, this is definitely in the cards. And let's see, we have, again, that Uranus, Mars, Jupiter is fifth from the moon, which is talking about children, actually. We could see some things with the kids, going back to school in August. And for that day in Washington, D.C., the ascendant of the full moon is Cancer, having Sun and Venus on the ascendant, putting the Mars, Jupiter in the 11th and Uranus in the 11th house for that day, which is the public. So be careful of being in public on this full moon. I want you to really question, do you need to be out there? Do you need to be in large spaces with other people? If you are, do you have enough water? Do you have enough shade? What can go wrong may go wrong in this full moon. I'm just saying. So be careful and cognizant of your surroundings for this full moon, okay? Then July 23rd, we have moon going into Capricorn. It will be opposite Venus and Mercury. Again, a difficulty with expressing ourselves musically may be the only way, actually. Then the 24th, we have moon in Aquarius. It will be opposite that Mercury in Leo. Again, July 25th, moon in Pisces, conjunct Rahu and Neptune. It's just a time to really tackle those deep issues in our subconscious, right? Tackle the corruption we see around us as well, not just on a global scale. July 27th, moon in Aries. Saturn is giving his third aspect to the moon this day. So again, having frustration with getting things moving forward, well, we're definitely going to feel it around that time, okay? And then the 29th moon goes into Taurus, which is exalted, conjunct Mars and Jupiter, making a Gaja Kesari Yoga. So this is a great day to seize the day, seize the opportunities. don't, sit down and expect things to come to you. You got to go out there and achieve things on this day, okay? Then, July 30th, we have, well, it's a Tuesday, and something that we talk about the rulers of the days, and one thing I want people to pay attention to is that K2 also rules Tuesday along with Mars, right? And Rahu also rules Saturday along with Saturn. So having, Mars just go into Taurus on the Tuesdays, really do some remedies for K2, do some remedies for Mars. This is going to help lessen the bad influences of those planets where they're at right now, okay? And, I do aromatherapy, and so I do have my book out, which is Uma's Upayas. It is on Amazon and Kindle. And I wrote this book during the pandemic because I was working a lot with the wild plants on my property, making tinctures, things like that. And I just started noticing how certain plant families align with certain planets' energies. And so for K2, which is the south node of the moon, K2 is the roots. And so any root medicine is great for K2. But also lotus, which has roots that go down very far. Orchids, irises, these are, perennials that have bulbs. These are very K2 energies. So working with lotus, working with lily, this is a vanilla. These are great remedies for K2 at this time. And of course, Mars is all of the spices. So those are things that you can do on Tuesday to help improve these energies. Now, for the 31st, we have Venus entering Leo. And so this is going to be opposite Saturn. So again, just kind of, a more stoic expression in romance and relationships at this time. But Venus in Leo loves to express herself, and you'll find a lot of performers have Venus in Leo because Venus is what you love. It's along with Mars, it is what you're passionate about. And so it's what you value, right? And so you'll find a lot of performers love to express themselves. They love the limelight. They love the whole performance process. And, love the bright sparkliness of being on stage. So, this is a good time to get out and see our friends and loved ones and, not let Saturn retrograde, dampen our spirits. So, that's what I have for this month. If you are interested in a reading with me, just go to HindustanAstrology.com. I'd love to see you in a reading sometime. I do everything. I do 5-minute readings. I do 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, and 90-minute readings for Vedic astrology and tarot. And I do combination readings too. So if you book one and you say, hey, I would like to do a little bit of both, that is perfect for me. I love it. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click that bell to make sure you get all of my notifications. And I also, encourage you to like this video if it's something that you want to see more of. And I just want to say until next time, namaste, and I'll see you later. Bye.